Episode number 380.
If you own your own network, per se, right?
Key.
On the web, and you can control your own content, you can control who advertises with your content, who it's distributed to.
Right.
You can still get out there to the social platforms, but you redirect everyone back to your network.
Welcome to the Be Real Show with Travis Too Tall and Huff, where we talk about life, dreams, social media, and business.
Well, hello and welcome to the Be Real Show with Travis Too Tall and Huff. Folks, you know your boy is always fired up, ready to bring you a little fuego on your nights, weekends, or evenings, or whenever you are listening to the dang podcast today. But after this show, I think you're going to want to think about the way you stream, the way you go live, and the way that you can, your business can evolve using live streaming and event planning with a legend in the game of this, Mr. Howie Zales. Howie, are you ready to be real?
What's up, man? How are you?
I'm absolutely amazing. Viridity Entertainment is the business, but taking me back into your story of your origin, were you always into businesses? Were you always into selling things, starting things?
Well, I started off as a camera operator. I worked for NBC Sports and the World Wrestling Entertainment.
Ooh, wow.
And simultaneous, I always had a business on the side where we'd hire TV crews for sports and entertainment events. And, you know, it started off with small events and kind of worked our way up to doing some sports in the New York area and then some bigger shows. And then we eventually branched out nationwide.
Incredible. So it started basically as a, you know, it was a side business. It was a side business. I was telling people all the time, don't be afraid to start a side business. It
started as a favor for a friend of mine who I've known since kindergarten called and he said, "Hey, Howie, I'm working on this show called I Miss in the Morning." It was this radio show that once in a while they would take the show on the road and they needed a camera person for it. And he's like, "Hey, you available to do camera on this show?" And I was like, "Yeah, hell yeah." And he's like, "Do you have any friends? I need this, and this. And by the way, can you pay them for me also and just send me in one invoice?"
Keep it simple.
I was like, "Sure." And that was like
crazy. Isn't it crazy how some of the best businesses happen when you're just listening and then you just provide that simple solution? Like you said, make me one invoice, like something so simple as that. Sometimes that's what it comes down to in some places, you know?
Yep, totally.
In many businesses, you think of general contractors and so many businesses where they're just making it easy to get the project done. One check to the guy, not 50,000 different checks and things like that. But you're doing the management. You're helping the project get forward. And bottom line is, let's just be real. You're getting the project done. Like I always say, you know, that's the most important thing about business is you're serving the customer, delivering the service, product, etc. But then you're up for the next one. You learn and you get to grow. So that takes me into now the evolution of the business with live streaming and obviously with 19, happening, and changing so many business models. The podcast, our show has always been embracing Zoom and Skype because we can be able to interview people from all over the world and come to us and make it easy on the guests. But a lot of people, let's be real, in 2020 realize that this is a whole new way of doing things, totally. Events, plans, business meetings, weddings, etc. So take us now to kind of how the business evolves.
Yeah. So March 20th, 2020, right? Boom, everything stopped. So right. I lost my business as a camera operator. I lost my business as providing, TV crews. Like everyone else, we're all in the same boat.
Right.
And I was thinking, so I had all this time in my hands. So I decided, I knew live streaming from being in the business was out there. I knew it was in its infancy and the technology was there, but the use of it was 5 years down the road. But overnight, right? Just the snap of a finger. And so did a lot of research. I spoke to a lot of people in the industry. And being Jewish, I spoke to the rabbi at the temple and I was like, listen, I've done all this research. I with COVID-19 and everything, I know there's no way you're going to be able to do the services at the temple during the holidays the way you used to. And I kind of made a plan. I said, this is what you need to do. This is the equipment we're going to need to buy. And this is what we have to do. He's like, all right, whatever you say. And as we're putting this plan together and I'm kind of learning all this technology on the fly, a client calls and says, I need to interview 9 baseball players in 9 separate cities at 9 different times but the interviewer can never leave her house.
Oh, wow.
Do you have a solution? And I'm like, yeah, of course, we can totally do it. Hung up the phone. I told my wife what the story was. I said, I have no freaking idea how we're going to do this, but there's a way.
Right.
And part of being an entrepreneur is saying yes and figuring it out on the fly. And we did just that. And we came up with these camera kits, we call them, and they're high-end gaming laptops with HD cameras and USB microphones and ring lights and Ethernet cables, everything you would need. And we developed this whole workflow, and that those interviews became another job, which became another job, and just kind of snowballed.
Wow. Isn't that crazy? Another great insight by you by just listening to not only the community, but also your own gut with the rabbi,
Yeah.
How is he gonna proceed and kind of evolving basically a plan for him, which then obviously, let's just be real, now works for a lot of different businesses or events or etc. We're seeing that across the board. But then so you kind of come up with a package, if you want to call it a solution, a packaged easy solution, includes a variety of different elements. Does it include training, or how do they also how do you work with them to get it set up?
Yeah, so it depends on what the situation is. If it's like the community or the rabbi or a temple or a church, we can go in and get all the equipment there, set it up, and train a group of people so they can take it over from there.
Right.
And then we're always on standby if there's a problem or whatever. But if it's like a production or broadcast or a meeting or an event, we have a team of people that we work with, and typically it's depending on the size of the event, we could have, a few people on site, a few people remote, everyone remote. It all depends. Each scenario and situation is different.
Right. Based on what they want to do. Let's just be real. Based on what they want to do. How many camera angles do you want? How many, you're watching the NFL? You got lots of camera angles there,
Yeah. We just did an event for a company where we had a steady cam and 2 other cameras, teleprompters, actors, and it was streamed globally. So it all depends on what the client wants.
That is amazing, Howie. Good job, dude. Good job. What are the types of clients do you find that you're like just synergizing with the best, that are really needing your services and have a need?
Good question. Good question. A lot of agencies represent different type. We do a lot in the healthcare space for different pharmaceuticals, a lot of stuff with T-Mobile, Capital One. We do live streams around sporting events. Oh, okay. So we did 5 live streams around March Madness with 5 different talent. 5 groups of different talent, and the last live stream was leading into the championship game that night, and it was with Charles Barkley and Jim Nance. So and then the surprise guest, which Jim knew about but Charles didn't, was Magic Johnson.
Wow.
So halfway through this hour and a half live stream, we surprised Magic. We surprised Charles Barkley with Magic Johnson.
Let's go, Magic. Let's go.
And it was amazing. It was awesome.
Wow. That is incredible. So let's just be real. This is at a big scale, folks. This is at a big scale, big level, but obviously the agencies, the PR agencies, advertising agencies, media relations firms, all need these kind of services as their businesses have evolved. Similar to ours, like with the social media stuff, 12 years ago, when we were first getting started, our biggest vertical was working with advertising agencies so that we can come in their campaigns, because a lot of times they didn't have the teams. We were doing only social, and still today, 12 years later, Howie, it's kind of the same solution. We bill them one invoice for all the projects. We do the work, same idea, but it's a similar point that, at the end of the day, the agencies are in need of this stuff constantly.
Yeah. And one thing, and something we just kind of got into that we're taking things to the next level is we have our own content delivery network, or CDN, where we create a web experience for an individual or a small business or even a big business, where we create an entire web experience and we house all of the video content, right? Because if you're relying on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube as the social platforms to get your content to your followers, they're ever-changing algorithms, and their decisions on what advertisements to place on your content is solely made by them. you have no choice in the matter. If you own your own network, per se, right, on the web, and you can control your own content, you can control who advertises on with your content, who it's distributed to. Right. You can still get out there to the social platforms, but you redirect everyone back to your network,
the homepage, the home network page, if you want to call it. Very smart. Yeah, because let's just be real. There's no way you can control the algorithm.
Correct.
You can't control it. They're in control. Let's just be real. I've learned that 12 years of being in the social media business game. When we first started on pages, when you put out a post, it immediately went out, and it immediately went out to almost all your following. Like literally, now it's like 5%, 1 to 5%. Who knows? It has to be highly engaged, or ads have to be tied to it. And so it's a combination, like you said, of distribution points, but of having your own hosting network to host your own videos, to host your own multimedia content is so important, because like you said, you're in control of the advertisers and things like that, as well as even how it's displayed,
totally. And we private label the experience. So like if you go watch a video, right, it's going to look like a YouTube or a Vimeo player. Right? Yes. We can private label the player. So it is your graphic, your color scheme, your logo. So and it looks like all your content is originating from the same place. And to take it a step further, we can supply all the analytics that goes along with that. Yes. So you know who's watching on a desktop or a mobile device, or how long they've watched. Did they watch the entire thing or just a few seconds? So
it's amazing, dude. That's why I got in this business after working at like Disney. I love ABC, love the Disney company. But when I started seeing that you can do analytics on digital, I was like, man, that's just, you can't compete. You can't compete when you're putting on estimates or, a projected amount of people watching this show versus actually how many people are tuning out after 5 seconds, 30 seconds, 20 seconds, et cetera. Like the stuff you could see today with the analytics on digital. It's incredible. Right. It's incredible the world we live in. But now, my man, we're about to take you into our top 10. Are you ready?
Yep.
Let's go. Apple or Android?
Apple.
Netflix or YouTube?
Netflix.
Instagram or Facebook?
Both.
Chicken or steak?
Chicken.
Laptop or smartphone?
Laptop.
Spotify or Pandora?
Spotify.
Movies or video games?
Movies.
Yes. Reading books or listening to books?
Listening.
Audible? Do you use the Audible app?
Totally use Audible. I do like $3-4 a month.
It's amazing. Do you speed them up at all? I always ask the guests. Do you ever speed them up?
1.5.
That's a good amount. That's a perfect amount to still absorb the content. Not go so damn fast. My boy Tom Billy, I remember he saying, "Hey, put that thing on 3 or 4x." And I'm like,
"Oh my god, no,
how the hell do you do that?"
I go between 1.25 and 1.5.
Depending on like the speaker, how they, how fast they go, how slow they go. It's a beautiful thing. You still can speed up the book, though. I mean, you still do speed it up quite a bit with that. Stocks or real estate, if you're thinking about diversifying your portfolio?
We're going to move into real estate next, hopefully.
There we go. Good values coming in, hopefully, in real estate. Maybe a little pain in the market, and we'll see. Oceans or lakes?
Oceans.
What ocean would you want to go to if you could hop on a plane and we're out today?
Caribbean now.
Caribbean. Let's go. You deserve it, my dude. We work too hard. And when you're waking up for your day, you're getting yourself ready, pumped, energized. Why do you love being you?
Because I love helping people. I love giving out advice. I love the start of the day. I just love being able to help others and give out the knowledge that I've learned.
Do you think you'll ever retire from the game of the business, the business, the entrepreneurship, the creative mindset? No. It's always in you.
Yes.
I love that. Let's go all the way till we're gone, baby. Do you have a routine on starting your day?
Yes. I start the day the night before with writing down the 3 or 4 things I want to get done in the morning. Get up at 5 in the morning, if not before, every day. Get those 2 or 3 things done while I'm drinking coffee on my computer. And then I do about an hour workout, and then I'm ready to go walk the dogs. Then I'm ready to go by 9 o'clock.
There you go. That sounds like a great workout. Do you have a favorite type of workout that you like to do?
Yeah, we have a Peloton. So
there you go. Peloton.
Mix it up. Yep.
Keep them competitive. The Peloton keeps you competitive, huh?
Yeah.
Has a little edge that you don't typically get with your home workouts, which I think that's a big win on the with that embracing that, because you kind of have to keep yourself competitive. Otherwise, you're just sitting there hitting the weights by yourself, and you're like, who's doing better than me? Who's getting a little bit faster?
Exactly.
You know? Keep a little competitive nature to that whole thing. I know a few people, they want to be at the top. They want to be at the top of the totem pole. What skill are you trying to master right now? Is there something you're trying to get better at?
Yeah, I'm trying to get better at learning like network IT networking, computer networking.
Back end stuff, the stuff that makes your computer work, the stuff that make the internet work, etc.
Yes.
How do you learn that? How do you learn that?
I ask a lot of questions, a lot of videos, and talking to people that are way smarter than I am.
That's the only way you do it, right? That's the way you do it. A combination of the University of Google and YouTube and interviewing, talking to people. You're in a great hub of area, obviously, with New York being a lot of technology companies and startups, things out there, just like we do out here in Silicon Valley. And you just never can learn enough. I mean, after almost 400 shows now, I've learned something from almost every guest. I always take notes, and I have stuff to look back on, because you know what? There's just little tidbits that you got to forget that are just beautiful about the world we live in today, you know? And so is there a favorite app or a tool that helps you run your businesses, helps you kind of stay more efficient, keep on top of the game?
Yeah, my calendar. I live and breathe by my calendar. If it's not in there, I forget it and mess it up. I started using Calendly, the app.
Calendly,
points.
Absolutely.
It's like I can't. It's like changed everything.
The best, isn't it?
Yeah.
That app is like truly Calendly, folks. Literally takes your calendar. You can set up times where people can book time with you. And so whether you're booking on the podcast, whether you're booking a certain time that you have available in the day or weeks, it allows the customer or guest to then find a time that's convenient for them, book it. It automatically books on your calendar, sets the date. It's all a lot of automation in there.
The whole workflow you can set up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You can set up reminders and just so many awesome things. Like you said, that the workflow with Zapier and some of the other third-party tools too, that you can even integrate with that. It's incredible. It's just incredible that we live in a day and a time. I send you a link and you can literally book it all, you know, and it makes it easy on everyone. Let's just be real. That's the kind of thing we live in today. I think Howie is time is so valuable. That's why Uber and these things are so valuable to us. And that's just another example of how time is efficient, you know, nowadays. Totally. If you could chop it up with anyone in the world to a chicken dinner, who do you want to sit down and chop it up tonight with a lovely chicken dinner?
I guess maybe one of my favorite singers would be like Bruce Springsteen.
Oh, hell yeah. A great storyteller as well.
Did you read his book on Audible?
I have an incredible dude. The dude has got just the most incredible story. He now has a podcast with Barack Obama as well. If you guys are into podcasting,
it was awesome.
Just a person that embraces culture, but I love his soul when he's performing, dude. Like when he is performing, you could just feel his soul.
I'm just listening to Stevie Van Zandt's book now too.
Oh, I haven't read that one.
It's awesome. It's just
that one's
good,
awesome
man.
too. Oh, I mean,
dude,
that guy's a legend, dude. That guy is
I didn't realize how much of a legend he is.
Dude, that guy is a legend, dude.
Totally.
Absolute legend. I'm gonna have to put that one on the book on the Audible list here. Good shit. I like that. Is there a book that has changed your life or that you either reread or kind of sticks to your soul?
Totally. So Bedros Keuilian, who's the CEO of Fit Body Bootcamp, is my business coach.
Ooh,
so his book,
go.
His book, Man Up, definitely changed me. It basically, with the help of my wife in that book, it changed my mindset of going from being just a camera operator to being an entrepreneur.
That's incredible, dude. And we got to surround ourselves. So if you guys haven't even, and we're all at different levels. Sometimes we can't even afford the Bedros, to train us. Let's just be real. But some of us can. So take advantage of that if you can. But on top of that, he puts out tons of great content on social, on YouTube, interviews. You can listen to him and his mindset. I love a lot of the things he talks about, because he's just incredible about scaling businesses and how you do that. And then also just resiliency and mindset and things like that, to be a man and things like that too, which I love.
Unfortunately, a lot of my time with him was during COVID. So we kind of slid things until it ended. But what I learned most, and he's not only the first business coach I've had two LinkedIn coaches.
Got you.
And another coach, but I've learned to think outside the box. And, that's been super helpful.
Yeah, because your point of view perspective has always been you and like the angles you capture and things like that, which is like you're like an artist, like if you're a camera operator, you are an artist in a form because you're capturing live motion, and the way you capture it is going to change the perspective of the audiences. Right. Just like anything else, there's like people that record music and they're all part of the process. And the guy that masters it just as important as Beyonce, because he masters that thing wrong. That's not Beyonce. That's someone else. So it's a really important point that also to surround yourself with coaches too.
Right. Totally.
People that can kind of give you that different perspective, walk you down a different journey. And let's just be real, they're doing it very successfully. So, that speeds up the process of success for you too. That's another big part of it. Well, dude, I appreciate your energy. I love that you literally, like I always say, the best businesses, folks, are the ones you just listen. Like you were just listening to your friend that was talking about when you were just operating the camera. Say, hey, do you have someone that can help me out with this? Was it the Imus show? And he said, hey, I got some friends. I got to do that. And then, how the business has evolved by just constantly kind of keeping that willingness to be open to it. And hey, what happens there is you'll continually prosper no matter what, Howie. You're always going to prosper, my man. But where can our listeners listen or learn more about you?
Our family website is all under one roof at howiezales.com. And that's the best way to get in touch with me.
There we go. So howiezales.com. I'll put that in the show notes as well. So hit the description. But dude, I always say to all my entrepreneurs, continue success, continue blessings for you, my man. Love the mindset that you're doing. And obviously this industry is just the beginning, dude. We're just getting scratching the surface of the live stream. So my man, let's go. You've been hanging out with Howie Zales and Travis Too Tall and Huff. Folks, thank you so much for your time today. And let's keep being real.
What another epic episode. And if you enjoyed the episode today, can you please do me a favor and subscribe to our podcast, The Be Real Show, on iTunes or your favorite podcast platform. And also take a little time today, if you don't mind, and give your boy T Huff a review. I would really super appreciate it. And thank you so much for listening today. We're all going through a lot right now. And Real-Time Outsource, my business, is giving back to local and small businesses. Through our social media services and campaigns, we are actually helping small businesses get more exposure during these times, and also when we get through these times. At the end of the day, we don't know how long this is all going to last, but most importantly, you got to think about your business right now and take it seriously. So come check us out at realtimeoutsource.com, and we would love for you to qualify and get the process started where we can take a look at your business and see if we can qualify you for some of our services at little to no cost for most of the businesses. And some businesses, you're going to have to pay, but that's just part of life, right? But most importantly is that I think this is the time, folks, that you can actually help thrive in your business. And so I would love to help you personally with our team. We're all going through a tough time right now. So take advantage of us. realtimeoutsource.com. Check us out. And we would love to do some business with you and help you with your social and digital media in 2020 and beyond.